Shalom everyone. An amazing day. Here we are overlooking the city of David and of course one of the most important areas for the Jewish people in Yerushalayim today, Kfar HaTeimanim. Where is Kfar HaTeimanim? Well, I think some people in the world call it Silwan. But little does the world understand that before Silwan was this Arab neighborhood, we're talking about a Jewish village. Yemenite Jews who came here in 1882. They came and they settled right here. What you're looking at, what you can see as a massive homes in what is today known as Silwan, used to be a beautiful, thriving Yemenite village. At its peak, 144 Yemenite families. Of course, just like the old city, the pogroms and the riots changed everything. The 20s and the 30s, the British have a lot to answer for, but maybe we'll talk about that in another time. But in 1938 was the last time Jews walked, prayed, and did anything in the Yemenite village. In 2004, we returned home. In 2004, Ateret Cohanim, with the help of Canadian investors, with the help of Israeli investors, with the help of people who understood the importance of the revival of Jewish life here in the heart of Jerusalem, helped us bring Jewish life back to two buildings, Bet Yonatan and Bet Advash. But in the last year, we've seen a doubling of our Jewish presence. Today, there is the old Yemenite Beit Knesset back in Jewish hands. Bet Rachel, Bet Ovadia, Bet Frumkin. It is a pumping station once again of Jewish life. Maybe not a lot, and I'm not saying it's easy. Yes, there are complications, but Kfar HaTeimanim has once again been re-established with this beautiful Jewish life in half a dozen buildings overlooking the city of David and of course the Temple Mount. In other videos, we will show you actual buildings themselves. We'll go in and speak to the families, see the children in Bet Frumkin playing in what we call the country club of the Yemenite village. We'll go to the top of the Kollel in Bet Yonatan and we'll see the original Beit Knesset. The Yemenite Jews from 1882 used to pray. We're walking into the Kfar now, walking into the village. Alleyways that once upon a time probably would have seen a few sheep, maybe even some camels. Today, we struggle to walk up these stairs, and I'm Ashkenazi. Once upon a time, there were just Yemenites here, but we're right around the corner from some of the places. Altogether, today, as we've said earlier, there's Bet Yonatan, there's Bet Hadvash, there's Bet Rachel, there's Bet Frumkin, Bet Ovadia, and of course the icing on the Yemenite cake, if there is such a thing, being the Beit Knesset that needs to be restored, which reminds me, by the way, anyone who sees this and you want to be involved in restoring an old Beit Knesset, this is the time to be involved. Can't ignore that. And now we're actually inside the Yemenite village in one of the more recent acquisitions, Bet Rachel. Every single Jew in the world has to be here to come with us, Ateret Cohanim, and to stand here in this Moshe's outlook. Something phenomenal. Not just Moshe Rabbeinu, but the Moshe knows. The Moshe outlook overlooking absolutely everything. If you close your eyes, you can picture David HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, kings, prophets walking around here. The whole of the city of David overlooking. There's the south wall, Har HaBayit. The only thing missing, of course, is the Bet HaMikdash, but God willing, with the furthering of the redemption process, one day that will also happen. But take a look at this. Is this not magnificent? Everyone has to come tour around the Yemenite village, stand here at this Moshe's outlook, scenic outlook overlooking the center of the Jewish world. Unbelievable. Standing here on this Moshe's outlook in Bet Rachel in Kfar HaTeimanim, one can only stand in awe and think about historically what happened here. Imagine, the nation of Israel used to live in the area called the City of David. They used to walk up towards the Temple Mount, past all the palaces, the regal buildings, the municipal buildings, and then entered through the gates, Sharei Hulda, onto the Temple Mount itself. Of course, today there is no temple, and we have El Aqsa and the Dome of the Rock. But Jews and Am Yisrael, one day we know there will be a temple. Today, there are 75 families living in the original city of David, Jewish families, Jews and Arabs living together. We have 21 families, Ateret Cohanim, because of the work of the organization, 21 families, and God willing, we'll be able to restore the old synagogue living here in the Yemenite village. Beneath me, literally underneath me here, is Gan HaMelech, the king's garden. Who's the king? King Solomon. You see, King Solomon 3,000 years ago planted every tree in this beautiful area, receiving water from the Shiloah springs that used to flow down this particular valley. It's the border between Benjamin and Judah. And for 3,000 years, it was a national park, a nature reserve, even under the Turks and the British and the Jordanians. Sadly, as you can see, there are today 89 illegally built homes in this beautiful national park. When the mayor of Jerusalem wanted to see the park return to its previous glory, there were riots and demonstrations and world condemned once again because it's, so to speak, East Jerusalem. And the mayor stood by what he said, although to a certain extent allowed for retroactively approving 67 of the 89 homes, and 22 were to be demolished of these illegal squatters building in a national park. Not sure one of them has been touched yet, but that's the story of Gan HaMelech, the King's Garden, the City of David, the Temple Mount, and we're standing here in a place that you must visit, the old Yemenite village, the middle of Shiloah, with Ateret Cohanim.